What's up, my eccentric units? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So, going back to the year of 1997, 1 month after SummerSlam, so I'm reviewing In Your House Ground Zero at the Louisville Gardens in Louisville, Kentucky on the 7th of September 1997. The attendance of the show was 4,963. In Your House Ground Zero received about 120,000 pay-per-view buys. Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. This is the first In Your House show to be a 3-hour In Your House pay-per-view, and this is the last In Your House pay-per-view with the door and the plant, the suburban house set until they brought it back 23 years later for NXT Takeover In Your House. Wow. I don't know what the reason why they decided to get rid of the In Your House pay-per-view set. I don't want to get into it, so I think it has to do, because I think it was a bit cheesy, because I think the product was starting to get a little bit edgy. We're not in the Attitude Era yet, so that's one of my theories. So, this is the one and only Ground Zero they ever did. I think the reason why they didn't do another Ground Zero pay-per-view has to do, if they attempt to do a Ground Zero, it'll just bring a lot of reference to 9/11. I think that'll be very bad taste, so I'm glad they did not doing another Ground Zero pay-per-view. But anyway, so this show took place, like I said, 1 month after SummerSlam. And I know the reason why they did not do a Monday Night Raw on the 25th of August and the 1st of September because of the US Open, because back then and right now, Raw was on the USA Network. So that's the reason why they took a break doing these Monday Night Raw shows in that time period. And for the time being, they did like a show called, was it Friday Night Main Event? I'm guessing that's just a predecessor to SmackDown. I think, I'm not too sure. Never heard about this Friday Night Main Event. You're not gonna find that show on the network. You have to find it on YouTube. So anyway, so the first match to kick off the show, we got Goldust with Marlena, that's Terry Runnels, by the way, in his corner, taking on the loose cannon Brian Pillman. So this is their rematch from SummerSlam. Goldust won the first match of the rivalry, and Pillman has to wear a dress. And in this match, they stop making Pillman to wear a dress. It's funny that on Raw, you have to win a match to wear a dress, but they decided not to continue with that storyline. Some people find it was goofy. For me, my personal opinion, I find I like it because seeing Brian Pillman's reaction of him coming out to wrestle wearing a dress, it's kind of funny. My personal taste. So here's the stipulation of the second match of the Pillman Goldust rivalry. So if Goldust win this match, Pillman must leave the WWF. If Pillman wins, Marlena will become Pillman's personal assistant for 30 days. This match was good, better than the match at SummerSlam, because I think the SummerSlam match was a bit boring, but at the same time, there was no build to this. This has a build because on the Go Home Raw, basically Pillman went personal, bringing up Goldust's daughter Dakota, saying she is Pillman's love child. This rivalry is similar to the Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero rivalry from 2005. It was evolved around Dominic. So, of course, at this moment in time, Raw, WWF was still getting their asses kicked by WCW Monday Nitro with the whole NWO thing and the cruiserweights. So they need to crank up the gear to present the edgier side of the product. So yeah, they're blurring the lines. Why is real? Why is fake? Anyway, why is the work? Why is the shoot? Anyway, the match was good. I really enjoyed this match. Like you had one more of the match. I think you had Goldust. No, no, you had Pillman chasing after Marlena. Goldust hit Pillman. I think he kind of face dropped him onto the steel steps. That was kind of gruesome. Glad Pillman never broke his face, but yeah, you had I think Goldust kind of suplex Pillman onto the ramp. This was starting to be good. Um, I think Goldust, Pillman locked. There was a bulldog attempt with both guys. Yeah, and Pillman shouted like, "I'm gonna show you why the bulldog is," and then he's attempting to hit Goldust with the bulldog, but Goldust countered it, and then he's trying to hit his version of the bulldog, not his version, but he's trying to hit the bulldog, but Pillman countered it. Yeah, it was both each other trying to count each other's bulldogs attempts. There was a referee bump. Before that, you had like Goldust kind of throw Pillman onto the barricade. And you had Marlena slapping Pillman. Anyway, I think like in some portion of the match, Goldust was going for the leg of Pillman. Like, yeah, they bring up like the multiple, was it the car accident what Pillman had? He suffered a broken ankle the previous year in 1996. So I'm trying to keep it. Let's keep it short and simple. So let's get to the end. So in the end, yeah, there was a referee bump. Goldust hit the his finisher. What's it called? The final cut. But the referee, I think he was knocked out. So yeah, in the end, Pillman grabbed Marlena's purse, managed to hit Goldust with the purse. And by the way, after this match, you had Lawler grab the purse and found out inside of the purse there was a brick. So anyway, so Pillman won this match. Yeah, and Marlena is Pillman's personal assistant for 30 days. Yeah, he had Pillman grabbing Marlena and, to the back, grabbing her, shoved her into his car. Goldust trying to come to the rescue. And then afterwards, he was pissed off, smashing, really trashing his locker room. He kind of tell the cameraman to get the fuck out. Yeah, they bleep the word fuck. So I don't understand why they bleeped it, because this is pay-per-view, anything can happen, so it's what it is. So this was a good match. I think it's the better match than SummerSlam, best match of the rivalry. And sadly, this was Pillman's last pay-per-view match. I'll get to Bad Blood in a couple weeks' time. So everyone knows the story that originally he was supposed to face Dude Love on the show, but he died before. I think it was hours before the pay-per-view aired, and I think and then Pillman's death was throw a wrench in the spanner that led to Goldust basically turning on Marlena, did the divorce angle, and he ended up stop being Goldust for a little while. So it's a shame for Pillman. I'll talk about Pillman briefly in this review. And then when I think his final Raw was, I think he appeared in the Intercontinental title tournament, and I'll talk about that. And then when I get to Bad Blood in a couple weeks' time, I'll speak more about Pillman's death and what might have been for Pillman, because Pillman's on the verge of becoming the company's next top star, and it's a shame he died. He died at the age of 35. In this match, yeah, he was not the same. He's not like the Brian Pillman from the old Brian Pillman from WCW, who does the high flying spots. But in this match, it was a good way to, in his final pay-per-view match, his whole run in the WWF, he was injured. He was basically cutting promos. Good talker, by the way. But it's a shame if he never had that motorcycle and a vehicle accident. What might have been? So anyway, so let's talk about the next match. So. And the next match is going to be shorter. The next match, we got Scott Pusky taking on Brian Christopher. Too sexy Brian Christopher. The storyline going into this is between Lawler, because Lawler is denying like, oh, Brian Christopher is not his son, but reality he is. But yeah, like I said, they're blurring the lines. Why is real? Why is fake? why is it work? Why is the shoot? Why is not real? Why is real? That type of storyline. Vince Russo, Vince Russo, Vince Russo. This match is a bit memorable for one reason: Scott Pusky's injury. So the match was okay, but here's one thing. So one more of the match, Brian Christopher hit. I think he hit like a springboard splash off the top rope, and managed to hit the move onto Pusky, and Pusky leg kind of gave out. Brian Christopher basically won this match via countout. And yeah, and also they show like Pusky's knee was dislocated. It was dislocated. It was like seeing like the kneecap, and like I was like, oh my god, that's gotta be one of the freakiest injuries in professional wrestling history. I don't know. You had like wow, you had like Psycho Sid, breaking his leg at Sin in 2001 in WCW. You had like Johnny Mercury get his face smashed in the ladder match by Jeff Hardy at Armageddon in 2006. Yeah, in the most recent years, you had Alexa Bliss's arm dangling in her match with Becky Lynch. Oh my god, it's just seeing like Pusky's leg, his kneecap dislocated, like sticking out in his leg. That is just like holy crap, man. So yeah, you had and add salt to injury. You had Lola coming out gloating. That was very poor, like very poor taste. It's tasteless. He's just gloating. And yeah, this is sadly Scott Pusky's final match in the company. He had a run in WCW. That was forgettable. But he was in good shape. He was like fucking jacked, man. I don't know what the idea to push Scott Pusky. Yeah, he was a jobber, an enhancement talent, but with his dad's name, maybe, I don't know, they're gonna push him right to the moon. We don't know what might have been, if he never had that injury. Before Pusky's injury, yeah, before that, he was also selling his knee before Brian Christopher hit the move, but yeah, before the injury, the match was okay. It wasn't going to be like a 4-star classic. At this moment in time, no one gives a shit about the light heavyweight division. I think it was shit. They'd never gone to plan to do that. But yeah, the crowd did not give a crap. But seeing Pusky's career ended like that, it was just in a most anticlimactic way. It's just sad. So moving on to the next match. So the next match, this is a triple threat match. Yeah, just a triple threat match. I think it's the first triple threat match probably in WWF's history, or professional wrestling history. This is between the three leaders of three different factions. We got Savio Vega, leader of Los Boricuas, taking on Farouk, leader of the Nation of Domination, and taking on Crush, leader of the Disciple of the Populace. So this is starting in the summer when Farouk kicked both Savio Vega and Crush out of the Nation of Domination. Crush and Savio form their own factions. This is faction warfare, folks. Vince Russo. Vince Russo. Vince Russo. So, yeah, Savio formed the Boricuas, and Crush formed DOA. Recently, the Nation kicked out Ahmed Johnson because reality he re-injured his knee. I got myself wondering what's the big deal of wrestlers injured their knees in 1997. So Shawn suffered a knee injury, Austin suffered a knee injury, I think Brett suffered a knee injury, Ahmed Johnson suffered a knee injury, and now add to the list, Scott Pusky suffered a knee injury. Wow, holy shit. So yeah, this is between the battle between the three leaders of their faction. This is, I can't say it's the worst triple threat match in professional wrestling history. I've seen better ones in the past, but this was not good. This was boring. I did not give a shit. Yeah, the Farouk whipping his belt on both Crush and Savio Vega. I tried to keep it short and simple. The crowd did not give a crap. It was a pin drop. In the end, yeah, you had teases of like, because you had Crush as a babyface, Farouk and Savio Vega are the heels. So yeah, moments of this triple threat match. Two of them kind of work together, but they end up like one of them like betraying. Typical triple threat shit. Yeah, in the end, Savio Vega hit the spinning heel kick. I think it was on. He kind of pinned I think it was Crush or Farouk to get the win. So that was a waste of time, and no other members of the groups feuding. No Los Boricuas got involved. No members of the Nation got involved because they added Rocky Maivia, the Future Rock, by the way, and no members of the OA. So what's the fucking point is that? So excuse my swearing, but it's just a waste of fucking time. So let's move on to the next match. So that's match number 4. Yeah, match number 4. So match number 4. This is a mini division match. This is basically the predecessor to the junior division. I don't want to get into that. So we got Max Mini taking on El Torito. Not the El Torito who dressed up like a mini bull in the Los Matadores group in 2014, 2015 period in WWE. So anyway, so this was okay. This is basically midgets. This is a midget division, not familiar midgets. No, midgets. It was okay for what it is. They made it what it is. But my nitpick about this, they took too much time. Too much time of this pay-per-view. I think they got about 10 minutes. There's goofy moments. You had Max Mini, and I think Max Mini kicking the referee's leg and biting him in the ass. That was a bit like cheesy. Yeah, these moments. Yeah, the funny moment like Max Mini on the lap of Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler wants a friend to punch Max Mini, and Vince told him not to do this. Told him not to do this, and JR said to King, pretend that's his son. That led up to the this is Jerry's kids chants. That was kind of funny. In the end, I think Max Mini got the victory, and that was it. So I think the mini division is basically taking shots of WCW's luchadors because at the time WCW is still on top because it's got so much momentum ahead of the WWF. The WWF is trying to find their own path, trying to find a way to how they present their own product. With WCW, they're on top with the whole NWO thing and the cruiserweights. With WWF, it's still the Hart Foundation, Faction Warfare. Shawn Michaels is the heel. The whole Kane storyline. So they're not quite catching up, but they're on that right direction. So that's match number 5. No, 4. No, you had Goldust versus Pillman. You had Pusky versus Brian Christopher. You had the triple threat match, and now you got this Max Minion versus El Torito. So yeah, match number 5. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is a 7-match card, by the way. Yeah, match number 5. This is before that you had this segment with Sergeant Slaughter. Basically you had Dude Love and Stone Cold Steve Austin must give up the World Tag Team Championships. They won it. I think it was in July. I think it was weeks before SummerSlam. And then the whole situation at SummerSlam when in the Intercontinental title match between Owen Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, you had Owen Hart basically tombstone power driving Austin's head on the mat. Austin won this match, but he suffered an injury. I think he was currently IC champion. Owen said it in a promo. We'll get to that shortly. That he's still the champion, but in one Raw after SummerSlam, you never seen Austin wearing the Intercontinental title belt. So yeah, the title was held up, and then it led up to doing a tournament that Owen Hart won. That's another story for another time. So anyway, yeah, you had Austin coming out, giving Jim Ross the middle finger, friend to beat the fuck out of Vince, says, we're going to stump your ass onto the ground. He basically called JR a fat ass. He kind of teased Sergeant Slaughter, giving back the title belt. He said, you want it, drop and give me 20. because he's a sergeant, so he threatened to like kick his ass. So yeah, he end up like Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, he end up stunning Jim Ross. I think he called him a fat ass. Gr is trying to reason with Austin. Says no one see you don't want a was it a permanent paralysis? You want the fans to see you back in 100%. Austin doesn't take any shit. He's basically at this moment in time. Austin is a babyface, but you could tell he's a tweener, but he was leaning more heel. I think he leaned more babyface, probably like late night, maybe the feud with the Nation of Domination. I think he leaned more babyface in the following year in 1998. So anyway, yeah, Austin, Stone Cold Stunner, Jim Ross, and later Owen says Austin should be in jail. He should be banned. Yeah, and Jim Ross says he called in a backstage segment between him and Sergeant Slaughter. Jim Ross said he called Austin the son of a bitch. If he does it again, he threatened to leave. So that's a load of bullshit. This has led up to the iconic Stone Cold Stunner of him, Stone Cold Stunner Vince McMahon, before he was the evil authority figure. That was still in the middle of the rivalry between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart. So moving on to this is a fatal 4-way elimination tag team match for the vacant WWF World Tag Team Championships. We got the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, taking on members of LOD, that is Hawk and Animal. The Godwins, that's Henry and what's his name? Is it Vidius? So yeah, the Godwins, and then you got Owen Hart and the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith. Sorry, yeah, I know you end up calling Midian, so I think it's Vidius. Yeah, I think I was right, Vidius. So this was boring. This is the worst match of the night. It was boring. LOD got themselves eliminated. Still in this feud with the Godwins, they got themselves eliminated, hitting the Godwins with buckets. When the LOD got eliminated, crowd died. Did not give a shit. It was boring. It was just boring. It was absolute boring. And then the Headbangers eliminate the Godwins. The final two is the Headbangers and Bulldog and Owen of the Hart Foundation. In the end, Owen was about to hit locked in the sharpshooter on one of the Headbangers. Austin come out, hit Owen with the Stone Cold Stunner. Headbangers won this match and become the new tag team champions. Yeah, the reason why they're there because Doolittle and Austin cannot compete because I think they thought that Austin's injury could be shot to. He might be fit for the pay-per-view, but unfortunately that's not the case. So yeah, the tag team titles was held up, and then they crowned the new tag team titles on the show. Headbangers won it. I think they won a second time, probably I think they won it the second time. I might be wrong about this. So, and I wish with the Godwins, no. I think they went on to win the tag team titles, but that was forgettable. Owen and Bulldog, maybe. I think they should have put the belts on LOD, but unfortunately that was not the case. So I'm guessing it's like a surprise. The Godwins were a little bit, not Godwins, Headbangers was a little bit relevant, so it's just a waste of time. So match number 6. This is for the WWF Championship. Bret Hart in his first title defense as the world champion, defending the belt against the Patriot Del Wilkes. So Bret won the title at SummerSlam the previous month against The Undertaker, with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. And he was feuding with the Patriot. He defeated Bret, I think it was before SummerSlam. It was before SummerSlam. So this was setting up this match on the show. They really did well. There was a video package they give more information about Del Wilkes. He used to play American football, not with the NFL. I think it was some team in South Carolina. It brings up his run in Japan. So, yeah, I think they're building up like he could be this next top star. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So, the match was good. The match was good between Brett and the Patriot. I thought it was going to be a bad match, but yeah, Dale Wilkes, the Patriot, sadly passed away last year. I think he was in his 60s. I'm not too sure how old is he. He came out with the future Kurt Angle theme music. The match was really good. The first half of the match was a bit boring to me, but they kind of picked up. You had Bulldog and Vader got involved. Vader just recently turned babyface, trying to help Patriot. You had this whole stuff with Bulldog, Vader, Brett, brawling. I thought this is going to end in disqualification. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It was really good. But you had Patriot. Del Wilkes hit Brett with the was it a full Nelson? I think it was called a full Nelson slam. Brett put his foot on the ropes in the last minute. Brett trying to roll up Patriot with the small package, but Patriot performed his own package. He kind of counted Brett's small package with his own small package for a near fall. He locked in the sharpshooter onto Brett's finisher, but Brett countered it and locked his own sharpshooter to manage to make instead of making the Patriot tap out, he passed out to win this match, retain the World Wrestling Federation Championships, and afterwards he got some heat. He grabbed the American flag, broke the American flag pole to get some heat. He choked the Patriot out with the flag. And and also there was a the post-match interview with Michael Cole. It says, to Bret Hart, this American war is still, is starting to begin. Well, whatever he said, and it said begin. He said Americans are losers. They bring up Austin's a loser, Shawn Michaels is a loser, The Undertaker's a loser, now the Patriots is a loser. And Bulldog says the only two countries going to win that war against the United States and America is the UK and Canada. I'll get to One Night Only next time, but it was a good promo. So this was basically, they ended up fighting at the next pay-per-view. That's Bad Blood in October. This whole thing with Brett choking the Patriot with the United States flag. This was setting up a flag match it was basically a flag on the pole match at Bad Blood. And I think this was the Patriot's second to last pay-per-view match before he got hurt. And then you never see the Patriot ever again before he left the company. I think it's for the best. If he showed up, if he never got hurt and end up still wrestling in the Attitude Era, I don't think he fit the Attitude Era. I think he'll get booed immediately. He'll probably get that John Cena, Roman Reigns treatment, get him booed out of the building, type of shit. So moving on to the main event. So the main event, in the post you see Austin. By the way, going back to Austin, you can tell when Austin has got the biggest pop on the show. You can tell the fans, knowing that Austin is not going to be not just the biggest star in the company, but the biggest star in professional wrestling history. And it's kind of true. So anyway, let's get back to the main event. So the main event, we got this is the first pay-per-view match ever. First of many in the next couple of years. So yeah, we got Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, taking on The Undertaker. So, at SummerSlam, you had Shawn. He was about to hit Bret with the chair. He cost Undertaker the WWF Championship against Bret Hart. Shawn was leaning heel. This has led up to the formation of D-Generation X, hanging out with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, and Chyna, introducing Rick Rude. Rick Rude came back, for the first time since 1990, basically sick of authority figures, I think in this match, I think it's the first time, Shawn doing the crotch chop, that's DX's signature taunt, the crotch chop, suck it. This match, and also in the Go Home show, you had basically, I said in my review of Raw from this 18th of August episode of Raw, you had basically Shawn hit Undertaker twice with the chair, he bled buckets, and then selling it like Undertaker is killed. But anyway, so this match was good. I think it's a little bit weak, but I like that match. It was a little bit weak, but it was still a good match. Yeah, some stuff of the match was a bit weak. Not weak, but weird. Like, you had, you basically, there was a lot of referee bumps. You had Undertaker attack Mike Chioda. They were fighting on the pay-per-view sets. Like I said, this is the last time they used the In Your House traditional pay-per-view sets with the house before they change it. They got rid of it. Yeah, they brought it back 23 years later for NXT TakeOver In Your House. I did that review 2 years ago. Go and check it out. So, anyway, so the match was really good. It's more, both Shawn and Taker, they don't give a shit about they don't care about winning. They care about beating the living piss out of each other. It was a really good match. Yeah, you had members. They're not officially called DX yet. You had Helmsley, future Triple H, by the way, Chyna, got involved. Rick Rude came out, give Shawn Michaels the brass knuckles. Taker also used the brass knuckles. A lot of near falls. Yeah, this match ended a non-count out, and then Undertaker is a one-man army, fending off against Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You had one more of the match shot. One more. Not the match was already ended. By the way, my apologies. Shawn hits Taker with a switch in music. Taker's arms are really caught on the ropes, and you thought like Shawn's gonna whack and wallop the Undertaker in the head with the chair, but instead Taker managed to fend off on his own. Managed to kick Shawn in the face while he's trying to hold in the chair. There was a lot of wrestlers coming out, and also after Bret's match with the Patriot, Bret attacked fellow Canadian Pat Patterson. I forgot to mention that, by the way. So anyway, so you had I think you had Billy Gunn, Jesse James. I think you had Brian Christopher coming out to break out to really break up the fight between Shawn and the Undertaker. This was really good, and Taker did I think it's the first time Taker did the dive. This was a good way to close out the pay-per-view. And by the way, this is set up the first Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood in October, because I think 2 weeks later at One Night Only, took a break off their rivalry because Taker went on to face Bret in the SummerSlam rematch for the WWF title, and then Shawn defeat the British Bulldog for the European title on the same show, and they end up really continued their rivalry going into Bad Blood to the first Hell in a Cell match, lead up to the debut of Kane. Then they continued, and then the fight one more time in 1998 in the infamous casket match for the WWF title at the Royal Rumble in the following year in 1998. So yeah, this is the match of the night for me. My final rating for In Your House Ground Zero, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. My thoughts going into my review of Ground Zero, any expectation for watching the show, I thought this is going to be a bad show, this is going to be Villa, this is going to be shit. No, this was a fun show to watch. It started out well with Pillman versus Goldust, and ended well with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I like Steve Austin. He's the poster boy of the show. Without Austin, maybe the show will probably be like a 6 out of 10, but for me, I give it 7 out of 10. Austin, in that segment between him, Doolove, Jim Ross, and Sergeant Slaughter, giving Sergeant Slaughter some shit. Stone Cold Studded, Jim Ross, knowing that Austin's going to be the face of the company, not just in the company, but in professional wrestling. He's going to be professional wrestling's big star of the 1990s, There are a lot of shit on the show, like the light heavyweight division match between Brian Christopher versus Scott Putski. It was an okay match, but the reason I put it at the bad because Scott Putski's injury, and that injury was career-ending. The triple threat match between Farouk, Savio Vega, and Crush was shit. And the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Elimination match for the Tag Team titles, that was boring. It was a chore to watch. The midget match between Max Mini and El Torito, it was okay. I get it, WWF is just basically taking shots of WCW, taking shots of the luchadors, but, it had some moments, but it wasn't a bad match. but at the same time wasn't a great match. But anyway, so yeah, Ground Zero for me, it was a fun show to watch, you know. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of Ground Zero. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Sorry. But anyway, so next time, so let's stay in 1997. So let's review, because recently in our current timeline, WWE did Clash in the Castle, the show in Cardiff, Wales. So let's do a UK themed pay-per-view to review. So let's review. People say SummerSlam 92 was the first UK pay-per-view they did, but I kind of disagree. So let's review the first one they did. That is One Night Only, 1997. Yeah, you had the SummerSlam rematch between Bret versus The Undertaker for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And then you got the British Bulldog defending the European title against the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. So anyway, so that's the Central Man officially signing out. And that's my review of Ground Zero. I give it a thumbs up.